Welcome to the third part of the series English for Sailors. Today we'll talk about something that is called the rigging. So, this video is a part of a larger series, and if you haven't already watched the first part, I highly recommend it because the first episode will quickly guide you through the basic parts of the vessel. You can also just click in the upper right corner and it will take you to this video. Also, feel free to like, comment and subscribe. But to quickly summarize, the yacht consists of four main parts: the hull, the mast, the sails, and the rigging. And in this episode, we will talk about the rigging. So, what is this mysterious rigging? Basically, it's what is used to attach the mast and sails to the boat. And we can divide all the rigging into two groups. The standing rigging, which is basically the rigging that we normally use to support the mast and sails. So we can call it a fixed rigging. It mostly consists of wires and steel cables nowadays. And the running rigging, which is used to operate the sails. It's mostly sheets and lines. We do find some boats with unsupported masts, but most masts need to be supported because it will be subjected to extreme forces. And to keep our mast relatively still, we use cables that are attached at the top or nearly at the top of the mast. The cable running to the bow is called forestay, and the one that runs to the sterns is called backstay. We also have cables that run to the sides of the boat, and they are called side stays or shrouds. Between shrouds and mast, we put spreaders, which are there so we can make sure that the side stays won't interfere. So let's move to the running rigging. So this rigging basically consists of different kinds of ropes. But please don't say rope, because when you say a rope, you will be considered as pariah. You should say lie inside of a rope. And those lines, you need them to manipulate the sails. So we have rather large number of lines that have specific functions, and we use different names for almost every line. And the reason for that is because it's easier when you say just one or two words to communicate with your crew about it, instead of saying something like pull this line that hoists. So without further ado, let's get on to the main sheet. So the main sheet is used to control the angle of the mainsail in relation to the wind. And like for the mainsail, you've got a jib sheet. But for the jib, you've got two sheets. Port jib sheet that goes on the left side of the boat, and starboard jib sheet that goes on the right side. Another important lines are mainsail halyard and jib halyard, and we use those lines to get our sails up or down. Because the boom moves up and down, we need to ensure it doesn't drop to the cockpit, and to do that we use a line called the topping lift. Next line that holds the boom is attached to the bottom of the boom and prevents it from moving up. This line is called kicking strap or boom vang. The jib is attached or wrapped around the forestay, and under the sail we often can find furling drum, which allows us to furl or unfurl the sail, and in order to do that we will use furling line. Other important lines are the hardware attached to the hull are called lifelines. They run around the hull and mostly are made of steel cable. They're there to prevent us from falling off. And at the bow we have bow pulpit, which is solid steel framing, and at the stern we have stern pulpit, and then we have those standing poles that support the lifelines, which are called stanchions. So that's it for now. If you like this video, leave a thumb up and subscribe. Also, don't hesitate to comment.